everyone. I am here with another edition of Women's Inspiration Weekly. I am here with a brand new guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shiny Burcu in Seoul, so you can call me Shiny, or the Shiny One.
I love that, the shiny one.
The shiny one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And this is my first time meeting the shiny one.
Yep.
But she has an amazing website, and she does also many, many amazing things. So I'm going to ask her to briefly tell her story because you will be as impressed as I am.
Thank you so much, Kathy. That's really, really nice of you. I am going to briefly talk about myself. Born and raised in a cute coastal town in Turkey.
Wow.
And had a dream to live a big life, a life that is larger than I am. And so I was on that journey. First, I went to Istanbul, the biggest city in Turkey. I was in the advertising world, and then I heard about UCLA Extension. I wanted to come and learn about advertising and marketing, so I enrolled in a program. And then when I first came here, I fell in love. It was totally a city of love. But of course, before actually UCLA Extension, I had to come as an au pair because my dad did not approve the UCLA Extension program. It was a little bit pricey. So I had to come check myself, like what I could do. So I first came as an au pair. That's a really good detail. I came as an au pair with my all means, and then I found out about UCLA Extension, and I took my TOEFL test, and then did whatever it takes. I enrolled, and then I fell in love with the city. I found myself here. I mean, look at this. This is just,
I know. I love the city.
it's just like, it's gorgeous, and the ocean, the palm trees, everything that I dreamed about when I was a little girl. I used to watch 90210,
Yes, me too.
90210, the old one, not the new one.
Oh, I know. I know. With
I used to watch that. Yes, exactly. And my uncle is an MIT graduate, so he kept talking about US, and I kept watching that show. And in my mind, I'm talking to myself, oh, I should go, I should live there, I should I have no idea how, but and then UCLA Extension made me realize this was the place I wanted to call home. And it took me, in the geography, in map, it took me 4 years back in Istanbul, coming back, traveling back and forth, and trying to figure out a life, how am I going to survive here? How am I going to live here?
Yes, it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Very expensive.
I'm a foreigner, so English was is my second language, and it was a barrier. Especially in advertising, yeah.
You speak so well.
Right now I am. Right now I am fluent in everything, but I had to learn. So when I first came, English was a barrier. I didn't know anything, anyone. It was all new to me. So I had to learn everything. And back home in Istanbul, I already worked so hard to build a career in advertising. And now I'm coming here starting all over. I had 4 years of multinational advertising agency experience when I first came here as an au pair. So I had to just let go of my ego. 4 years managing brands, and Coca-Cola was my client, BP was my client. I had to let go of all of that and then start from scratch here. And that was quite a learning and humbling experience, and going all the way up, and then falling in love, getting back to Turkey to get married, losing my father in a heart attack.
I'm sorry.
Hitting rock bottom and questioning everything about myself. And then next thing you know, I wrote this book. This book is talking about galactic leadership.
Oh.
And what it means is living your life on your own terms. That's basically what it means.
Can I see this?
Oh, please, absolutely. It's on Amazon.
You are a star. Shine. Wow. Look at this book. It's purple and it's shiny. It's beautiful. Become a galactic leader in 5 steps. Wow.
Yeah.
This is impressive.
300 pages, my life stories in it. My story that I lead the way I live today started back when I lost my father. It was sudden. It was I went back home. That night, he was gone. I couldn't see him. It was
Wow.
that tragic, and it was definitely something.
At least you're home.
Yeah.
But still, I know it's
I mean,
terrible
it
to
was
lose a parent.
unexpected, and I was so excited because I was engaged, I was going to get married and start a new life, and then everybody was waiting for it, and all of a sudden he's gone.
Oh, that's tragic.
So I had to really like dig deep and find some answers, and nothing was good enough for me, and I was in that victim mentality, like, why is this happening to me? Like, what's wrong with me, right?
Oh, no.
Can you guys relate to that? What's wrong with me?
Oh.
Oh, you know, life is punishing me because I didn't have good relationships with my father when he passed away. So I started, you know, having the guilt trip, blaming myself, and, you know, not feeling happy about my life. And I was still, you know, working, doing my thing. You know, we all go to work, we all do our thing. And there is something like deep, deep, deep inside of you. If you don't pay attention to that, it's going to, you know, have its roots all over you. And the next thing you know, you're depressed. So I didn't come to any depression, thank God. But what woke me up was a past life regression.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, can you talk about that for a minute?
Absolutely. That is something that I want to talk about day and night. I discovered in my past life regression session, May 16, 2010, that I was here on a mission to share my light, which I had no idea what it meant.
I love that.
Yeah.
Share your light.
And then, you know, I just happened to be a goddess, Saraswati. If you know Indian mythology,
A little bit.
knowledge of goddess of knowledge, music, and arts. And then I grew up with music and I mean arts, and you see the purple, it's all over me. And the knowledge, you know, I am that type A valedictorian, scholarship, that type of a, you know, person. So knowledge and learning is also a part of my life. And so it just meant something to me, it was meaningful. And I decided to learn more about it. And that's when I was able to say no to my comfortable life that I was able to build back in Istanbul. By the time I decided to come back to LA to create my galactic life, I was already managing an international team of 100 people, responsible for more than $7 million, traveling, you know, all Europe, especially Northern Europe, and like rocking my life. I was married, I had a great, like everything was great. But and then that question, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I began to question myself after losing my father. That question is so deep, it's kind of like forcing me to take action. I know that there's a bigger potential, there's this calling, and I have this LA in my DNA, so there's this calling, and I'm like, yes, no, and then next thing you know, this past life regression, and boom, I wake up to my truth. And I say, wow, I gotta go back to LA. The last time I felt like this, I was in LA because I got to be myself here. Nobody was judging me when I was here. In Turkey, mindset was a little bit different.
I understand. I used to live in South Carolina.
I mean, I wasn't wearing my star stickers back then. I was not shiny back then. I was Burcu, my Turkish name. But still, my personality was too much enough for the Turkish culture to try to put me in a box that I didn't belong. And that's why I was also questioning what's wrong with me. And then I realized, you know what? This is not going to happen here. This is going to happen back in LA. I need to go find my answers. I need to start with where I want to live. And that's where I want to live. And I had to, like, as I said, I had to let go of everything. Family, friends, even married, job, career, gone. And I have nothing in my pocket. I have some money that I saved in the corporate world, but that is only going to be enough for like 6 months. And I have no visa whatsoever. This is how I began.
No kidding, because you seem so successful.
I know. But yeah, I mean, 10 years of, you know, international background here, back and forth international, but 2010 marked a new journey in my life. I came here, started everything from scratch. I had no idea what I was going to do. What I knew, that I had some light within me.
You do. I can see it. It's shining.
And it was my responsibility to find it, to dig deep within and to really own it. It was my responsibility. Nobody was going to do that. And I understood that, and I decided to just follow that feeling. And then next thing you know, I'm here. Oh, and right after that, I also went to NLP training, which is I'm teaching today.
I read about that.
Yeah. So that NLP training also gave me the tools to think in a more empowering way. So I was able to ask myself more empowering questions instead of, oh, I cannot do that. Come on, I have a job. I'm married. I have this. I cannot do that. I don't have that. Oh my God, I don't have a job. I don't have a visa. Like, I put all of it. And then I asked myself, what does it take for me to get what I want? What should I do to go after my dream? Like, what has to happen for me to feel alive? Those are the questions I started to ask myself. And next thing you know, I'm unstoppable. Like within 3 months, I was here. And then I started to take more NLP classes. Next thing you know, I met the founder, Richard Bandler. I got my license from him as a licensed NLP trainer, and I was not feeling anything ready or even close to ready to teach any NLP because, again, English was a barrier for me. So like this environment, I knew nobody, and so I wasn't really going to do it, but I really wanted to do it because I'm going to Kabbalah. I'm going to spirituality.
Oh.
I'm learning metaphysics. I'm going to Landmark. I'm doing Toastmasters. I'm collecting sources and everything so that I could actually create a meaning out of my life. And it is just so much so that, I am at home. If people are having fun and doing everything, and I am at home studying. And then I also met Tony Robbins.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Transformed my life. 2011 March. After that, I purchased everything he ever created, all of his CDs, and it was not the internet world back in 2011, right. So I had to listen to audio and video books, and everything I studied, I was kind of programming myself with everything. I had to unlearn all that stuff that I brought from Turkey.
Yes.
That takes a lot of time to unlearn that. And so it took a lot of years, a lot of trainings. I finally said, I'm going to share this, and I went back home to start doing that.
Oh,
my first
really?
NLP training was in Turkey, in Istanbul.
And how did that go?
It went great. I was supposed to do this. I had no idea. I was clueless how I was going to do it, but it worked. And I got confident. Next thing you know, a student of mine from UCLA, I started to teach at UCLA before I started teaching NLP.
Oh.
So a student from my class, she said, I want to learn NLP. I actually started teaching her one-on-one, tutoring her. That's how I started teaching NLP.
Really?
One person.
And what were you teaching at UCLA?
I am still teaching my leadership communication strategies class that I started back in 2012. Because I went to UCLA Extension and I said, listen guys, I am your graduate. I studied at UCLA Extension. It really helped me improve my career. And you guys have the certification programs, and I happen to become this licensed trainer who gives out certifications. NLP certifications. For whoever watching, if you don't know what NLP is, stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming.
Thank you for defining.
It's actually the most powerful mind technology in the whole world. Tony Robbins used it, leveraged it. Coaching world is based upon it. Anything and everything that you hear about empowerment, it's all NLP. So it helped me a lot. And that's why I went to UCLA Extension. I said, let's teach NLP classes here. And then they're like, not gonna happen.
Really?
No, they're not gonna let that, because it was going to be complicated with UCLA Extension certification and Richard Bandler's NLP certification. It was kind of not matching. So they told me, if you want to teach any other classes here that we have on our catalog, by all means sign up. So I chose that one, Leadership Communication Strategy.
That's a great class as well.
And they called me a month later and they said, you know what? If you want to use NLP as your methodology, by all means. So we want you to come teach. So that's how I started. 2012. So it's been 6 years that I've been teaching, leadership communication strategies. I have graduated hundreds and hundreds of international leaders. These are people who want to advance their leadership skills, their communication skills. They come from JP Morgan, Mercedes-Benz, Discovery Channel, Walt Disney, Verizon. These are like very executive people that they come and take my class. And it was a very big challenge for me. And here I am, imagine me, 2012, here I am struggling in my own English. And I am teaching something very advanced English, NLP,
Absolutely.
neural linguistic, like you really need to master it. And I am really struggling, but that's how I began. Now that's why I'm kind of like proud of where I am today right now.
You should
And so I wrote this book, I put it on Amazon, so anybody, if you are interested, this is on Amazon. This changed thousands of lives, including my mom.
Nice.
And I am proud to tell you, to share with you that with everything that I have done in my life, I have learned to embrace that change is going to take time, and change is going to come with a lot of unknowns. So, and then my adaptability was my key.
So you were ready to go with the flow and do whatever it took.
Yeah, exactly. Commitment. Like I'm dedicated. Like I don't take no as an answer. That's the mindset.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
And did you have any barriers as a woman?
Other than English?
Well, no. As I think your English is great.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about as a woman, you're teaching leadership skills, and a lot of that is in a man's world. Did you feel that there was maybe a resistance because you were a woman, or?
I actually didn't.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad to hear
You know why? I guess it's because my background, my final position in the corporate world, I was in a leadership position. I was the head of marketing for that international tour operator, and my boss was a guy, and he really respected whatever I said, whatever I put in the business plan, whatever I wanted to implement in marketing. I ended up starting as the head of marketing and also transforming the whole organization. I recreated the values, the mission, vision statements, starting with the logo to job descriptions. Even 9 of us, we went to Harvard Business School so that we could have a common language in the company. And I threw a party. I invited everybody who worked for the company, and that party was kind of like lead with your heart. So I even wrote the invitation letter, and then I said, "You are the heartbeat of theater." So everybody was wearing heart spins. It's just really, really fun. And so I kind of had that confidence that whatever I said as a leader, my boss was respecting me, and then he was allowing me to do those changes. And I felt like I already was a leader. And that also gave me a springboard to jump to the new unknown, because I have seen, hey, I built something here. Yes. And then it was the best year. It still is the best year for the company, by the way. He still says that.
I'm sure they were sorry to lose you.
Because when people come together with love and they feel appreciated, when they're invited to a party, when they are told that you are the heartbeat of the organization, it was emotionally bonding. It was really sweet. And that's why sales went up. It was great. And so that was kind of like my accomplishments already before I jumped into this ocean of unknown in the City of Angels. Wow. So when I started teaching NLP at UCLA, which is 2 years after that, I kind of had an idea, because if I started teaching leadership without my 10-year background in the business, then I would have felt a little bit awkward. But I knew what it was. I knew what leadership meant. I knew, and I also, leading your own life,
yes,
right? Leading your own galactic life on your own terms. I had an idea as well. Starting from a really, really small town and going to capital city, and then the biggest city, and then to LA, it's, you know what I mean? I had some experiences to share, so I didn't really feel like that.
Well, good for you, because I just see so much confidence coming out of you. It's amazing to see that.
Thank you. that is something that I actually want to share with women, whoever is watching. Confidence is something I'm really good at. Okay, I'm gonna own it. You know what I do for that? Seriously, I sit down and I write down, for example, I was just doing that the other day. I write down all the things that I'm good at. For example, I'm a trainer now. I am a mind expansion strategist. Now I do executive coaching, I do corporate training, and I do all of these things. And then I decided to sit down and make a list, like on an Excel spreadsheet, make a list of all the trainings that I have taken since 2010 and all the trainings and coachings and seminars I have given. In return, when you just sit down and do your own diligence, it's more than 20,000 hours of work. Like I sat down, like literally it took me 4 days or something to really go into, nuts and bolts and like the details with everything. And then I saw all this list, I'm like, wow, I would be impressed for whoever that person is, and that is me. I've done that?
It's just amazing. So you could have did your 10,000 hours.
Oh, way past that.
In less than 10 years.
Way past that. Because I did nothing but this, you know what I mean? So it was absolutely amazing to see. So going back to the confidence, work on your accomplishments. I live and breathe my accomplishments. My focus is always about my accomplishments. Like even in my language, like hear me saying, I started from here and I did this and then I did that and I did that. Before I started, I also did that. Like I really did stuff that I'm proud of. And so I make my mind focus on those accomplishments so it always backs me up when I feel the need of more confidence.
Power of positive thinking.
Exactly.
I am trying to embrace that as well.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard sometimes.
Of course it is.
To make yourself do that.
Because the mind is not naturally programmed to give you all the awesomeness that you have, The human brain is actually a very old organ, from hundreds of millions of years ago, and it is only designed to make us survive, not thrive. You know what I mean? So survival is not going to do that.
And I think as women, society has not really given us the tools that are accessible to men, and we have to take the tools, and we have to make them work.
Yeah, go get it. What helps me is education. Just education, knowing, knowledge, learning, growing, educating myself. And because once you have all that education, nobody can take that away from you.
You're right. It's up here. It's there. And
nobody. You own it all the way to your graveyard.
I believe firmly in education.
Yeah.
I was a college professor. I gave up everything to move here.
There you go. Right?
I feel exactly.
All right, so you can feel.
Yes.
Yeah, I can totally feel.
And I will say it's been a struggle, but I'm very happy here. And I love the city, and I love meeting all the new people, and the multiculturalism, and the fact that yes, you can go anywhere, you can be what you want, you can do what you want, and you're not judged.
Tell me about it. I know, like when I think about everything, in 2004, I came here as an au pair. It was actually a work and travel program. You go stay with a family, you take care of their baby or kid. So the father of the family was a Turkish guy. He wanted his son to learn some Turkish, so that's why they were looking for a Turkish-speaking nanny. And then I arranged that from Istanbul. And that's how I landed in Santa Monica. That was my first time in US and first time in LA, and that's why I love Santa Monica so much. And from an au pair to someone who's changing lives, that's pretty awesome.
It is very awesome.
It's pretty cool.
What would you say to like the average woman out there? Maybe she's a housewife or has a job that's not really very fulfilling, and she wants a change. Like, how could she accomplish all of that without moving to LA? I mean, because LA is not for everybody.
Education. Because I have a formula. I'll start with that. My formula for creating any change has two components. One is awareness, and 2 is willingness. First, you gotta be aware if you are where you want to be. If not, why? You gotta be aware of that. And then once you're aware, then the second question, what are you willing to do for that? Most of the people back in Turkey, they do have great lives, they do have comfortable lives, but for them to live at a galactic level on their own terms, they have to let go of their comfortable life. They have to let go of their comfort, their friends and family, everything they established and everything they invested, everything that meant something for them. They have to let go, and then they can't. That was my difference.
Yeah.
I took the risk of living a marginal life on my own terms. That was a big risk. Are you willing to do that? So that is my question to women, to actually whoever. Anybody. Like, ask yourself, are you where you want to be? If not, are you willing to do whatever it takes? That whatever it takes is a whole other chapter.
It is, and that's probably something that people would have to, look at your book and maybe take a class.
And then in the book, I actually take everybody from step 1 to step 5 to how to let your power shine out.
I love it.
Because scientifically proven, we all are stardust. We are made up of stardust under the Big Bang. And that's where the title comes from. This is a combination of cosmology, neurolinguistic programming, positive psychology, and a little bit of leadership tools inside. And everybody's going to find this type of exercises inside. So when you answer all of these questions, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 5, and in the end, you not only learn so much about yourself, but you also end up with a galactic map